We are live on the Rich Lieberman Bay Area Media Pulse. This is the last Monday of April 2025. I keep saying it, it's a cliche, but I got to keep saying it. God, time flies. I mean, it's ridiculous. But anyway, we move forward. Monday. So I gave you the news breaking that according to my sources, KRON has a new GM. I still haven't figured out who exactly that person is. But the news is that the real big news is after almost 7 months, longer than that, excuse me, of being without a general manager, KRON has a new GM. We don't know the name of the person, but I don't know. That might be secondary. Meanwhile, in the same building there at 900 Front, we haven't talked much about this, but KGO TV, ABC7, they are still looking for a new general manager to replace Alfred Hitchcock. Tom Zabrowski, who went back to New York so he can look much better and get a little bit more money, shuffling paper clips around and taking people to lunch at 21. I'm being a little facetious, of course, but whatever. So KGO TV, ABC still doesn't have a GM. Now, industry talk is that this job, which is basically functioning to keep the sales department humming, good old Disney cares about first and foremost the bottom line. Good for them, because it's a small world after all, and all that stuff. But here's the deal: how about one of the people, one of the finalists, one of these finalists for the KGO TV and quite possibly the KABC position down in LA? There's talk there might be a simultaneous watching over both of these outlets. But one of the finalists, supposedly, was a scab who crossed the picket line at a strike about 20 years ago. I think it was either the NABET or it could be the IBEW. I don't know for sure. All I know is this female candidate, and she's not likely to get the job. And I do have her name. I'm not going to use it just yet because they're still looking around to figure out who gets the position. But I said to myself, what the hell kind of morale would that be if you hired somebody who is a scab, who crossed the picket line? And look, it's not very likely to happen. The odds are long and hard, according to one of my key contacts at ABC7. But just the fact that they put this person in a position to where conceivably they could get the gig, that just speaks very, very apropos of the mouse mafia. Speaking of which, and this is kind of a difficult thing to say too, but there is, folks, quite a resentment taking place at Channel 7, which used to be, like everybody else, one of the hallmark stations, like Channel 2, like KRON, and they're all just kind of internal crumbling. They don't know how to manage a news operation. Hell, they don't even know how to manage any operation, which is, testament to why they continue to have such nagging personnel issues. And they put on a newscast. They, I guess, have functioning people, some of whom have been there for over 20 years, and they pay on a day-to-day, weekly hire basis. And they wonder why they get mediocre, if that, returns. But the resentment is quite apropos. And this is a Disney operation. They just don't give a damn about their product. And this building a better Bay Area BS is so BS, is so transparent. Nobody talks about that except moi, do. And I mean, they laugh at it over there. The people that get it, who understand how ridiculous that campaign is. They can't even get a better Bay Area within their own newsroom, yet here they are spieling out Disney mouse mafia crap like this campaign that goes on far too long. And their workers, some of whom should know better, some of whom have more juice and they know it than they should, don't say a word. That's why I call them zombies. But back to KRON. Look, and I've heard talk like this. I haven't really talked about that much because there's nothing to talk about. There's no information yet. There's nothing concrete. KRON, the irony of all ironies, as a local SF Oakland, San Jose news outlet, doesn't have to be the freshest reporter, doesn't have to be the most fluid anchors, but as a staple, as something that befits its image. It could be worse, KRON, as the Bay Area's news station. I put that in air quotes because it's not now. It's not. And here's the irony. Nexstar, which owns KRON, part of the CW crap that they put forward, they actually reduced some of their news presentations. We've talked about this before. KRON could be very valuable. They could be, again, they could do basically 24/7 news, although, of course, it won't be 24/7. It would be primetime news, midday news, evening, early evening news, morning, of course. And it could function and make lots of money, probably do very well. But the CW network, which nobody really watches, you want irony? Yet because Nexstar owns KRON, they're the ones who dictate what goes on the air at KRON. And they understand, at least I think they do, what they have in the Bay Area could be a very, very valuable piece. Yet they go away from that. Now, look, KRON does enough news, don't get me wrong, but they could do their primetime news, their evening news, weekend, yada news, run some loops and do an overnight, basically what they have at KRON On, which is their internet channel. And this is something to which the new general manager, whoever he or she is, could talk about. But guess what? Not going to happen as long as Nexstar owns, because they want CW presence. And look, that's very reasonable. But when it's completely transparent and telling that your best product is to just function as a news generator, why not do that? Wait a minute. Oh, it's common sense. This is what gets me. One step forward, two steps backward. They don't understand that at KRON, which is one of the reasons why the people who walk around there don't know what the hell is going on. They have no person, they have no missive, somebody, the proverbial, take by the horn and make it work, make it happen. And frankly, their news presentation is terrible. It's boring, which is worse than no ratings, of which that is the case at KRON. It's a boring watch. It's like that pattern you go into the old Woolworth store and you'd buy fabric that your grandma or mom or whomever, maybe your dad, I don't know, would get that fake kind of crappy, ugly beige fabric and use it to sew shit. That's what KRON is. I hate to be blunt, but what am I saying that isn't absolutely true? It's a boring watch. if they knew what they were as opposed to what they want to be, they'd have a lot better results at KRON. Unfortunately, and this is something that should be on the to-do list as the new GM takes place. My God, stop the presses. They finally have a GM. All right, this is the Monday Muse. I'm Rich Lieberman. We will, oh, by the way, please make a contribution to my site. Go on the PayPal icon, click. Any donation amount is most appreciated and welcome. I promise you, I will mention you, and I will also thank you in person via either a text and or a email or a presence right here on my YouTube show. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.